My name is Rowan Ives, and I am the leader of Puget Sound Druid Forest Walks and Talks. And this is another one of our guided meditations using one of our monthly tree allies. If you'd like to know more about our meetup, go ahead and check out the link in the description below. And you can see what we do. We have free guided meditations. We do a monthly tree talk, which is sort of a way to explore the folklore and the myths and all of the various ways in which trees have featured in culture and how we interact with trees. It's a really interesting talk, and I invite you all to join if you are so interested. We also do a meditation with the tree ally that we work with for that month for each of our tree talks. As you can see, we are now we're approaching the holiday season here. I have my Yule tree behind me, and we celebrate the solstice and Christmas in this house. We kind of do a dual observation. So we have our tree set up, and appropriately for this month, the meditation is for the holly tree. The holly tree is very much so associated with this time of the year, with the holiday season, and with Yule and the winter solstice, and so it's very appropriate that that's our ally for this particular month. Now, I don't have a holly tree or holly with me here, so if you find it helpful to have a piece of holly with you or to reflect on holly beforehand, feel free to do so. As part of our group, we also have some shared materials about the tree, so if you join our group, you'll have access to that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. For this meditation, you don't need to have anything other than if you want to have maybe a notebook and maybe a pen to write with, if you'd like to write down notes, completely optional. You might want to have a glass of water afterward to drink. Some people find that very helpful for grounding themselves, which is very important. You want to make sure you come back fully after a meditation. This meditation is going to work with the Holly King, and the Holly King is a figure from folklore who represents the winter and the dark time of the year, roughly from the summer solstice until the winter solstice in most traditions, and so ruling over the time of the year when the light is decreasing, when you have longer nights. And so this meditation is going to be an invitation to meet with this figure, the Holly King. And there's a lot of debate in pagan circles about how old the Holly King is and what the lore comes from. I'm not looking at this from a reconstructionist view. I'm looking at this from let's look and see what is the message of the Holly King, and whether or not the lore is ancient. I feel like there's some depth and value in working with holly at this time of year and calling on some of that associated lore, even if some of that lore is perhaps a bit more recent. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. To get ready, I invite you to take a few deep breaths. Just breathing normally. You don't have to worry about holding your breath at any point, counting breaths. Just inhale and exhale normally and comfortably. Whatever allows you to connect mindfully with your own breath. Breathing in and out. Focusing on that sensation of the air entering through your nostrils, expanding your lungs, and then releasing it. Just exhaling it all from the nostrils or the mouth. Again, whatever feels comfortable. Now feel and sense the ground beneath you, wherever you are seated or standing. Wherever you make a connection with either your chair or the supporting earth below. Be aware of that point of contact that grounds you and holds you in place. Sense also the sky above you. stretching far overhead wherever you currently are. Even if you're in the building, above the ceiling, there is the limitless expanse of the sky. Now also sense around you the sea that encircles all the lands. For wherever you are, when you travel far enough, you come to that sea that connects all lands, all places. Sense that there is a direction before you and behind you, to your left and to your right. And sense that there is a direction within you as well. You are here and now in the present, spiraling ever forward. Now, from this place of stillness, allow yourself to sense as though a mist is rising all around you. The mist rises from the ground and begins to move up your legs. It rises further and further up your legs toward the trunk of your body. A calm, cool, flowing mist arises up the trunk of your body, up your chest into your shoulders, down your arms, and rises further up until it is above your head and you are surrounded within it, within this calm, flowing mist. And now, as you become aware with your inner vision, you notice that the mist begins to fade, begins to part, and you notice that you are standing in a forest in winter. The ground below you is blanketed with freshly fallen snow, and nearly all the trees around you are bare of any leaves. The sun is low on the horizon, and you can't quite tell if it is morning or evening. The sky is pale and hazy. As you begin to walk, you notice your breath is emerging in puffs of vapor. You are grateful for your warm, comfortable clothing. As you look over the winter forest, you see that everything is white, still, and silent. All you can hear is the steady crunch of your boots as you walk through the snow, following a path that only your feet know. Although there isn't a clear path marked ahead of you, you get the sense that you should go in a certain direction. Allow your intuition to tell you where to go. Trust that your heart will guide you toward the tree ally that can help you to connect with your own sense of hope, a tree ally to help you rekindle your light within this winter season. After some time, you notice a large cluster of dark-leaved shrubs coming into your view. You also see smoke rising from beyond these plants. They are the first signs of life outside of the slumbering trees that you have seen. And as you draw nearer, you can smell the familiar sense of food and of home. And you hear what sounds like laughter, a deep and hearty chuckle. You walk by the bushes and notice their spiny leaves and scarlet red berries. The red and green are a riotous contrast to the whiteness of your surroundings. And as beautiful as you are, you know better than to reach for them or to try to taste one of the ripe berries. For you know that this is holly, and that it is poisonous and well armed. Walking past the small trees, you see a great wooden hall, its doors wide open so that you can see the firelight coming from within and feel its warmth emanating forth. It feels welcoming and hospitable. You walk toward the hall and take a look inside. There is a great table laden with food and drink, but no other visitors are present. The walls of the hall are bedecked with holly and evergreen boughs, giving the entire scene a sense of cheer. As you explore the space, you notice that you are not alone. At the end of the hall, there is a great hearth with a roaring fire, and standing before the fire, you see a large, stout man. The man turns to greet you, and you notice that on his head he is wearing a crown of holly leaves, and that he is dressed in warm furs. With his great size, he looks intimidating, but as he sets his eyes on you, his expression changes to one of great warmth. He smiles broadly and begins to laugh once more, the deep, full-bellied chortle you had heard from a distance. This is the Holly King, the wish-giver and the lord of the dark half of the year. He is both the harshness and coldness of the season and the granter of hospitality to those in need. He is both fearsome and merciful, and you are here in his hall before the solstice, the day on which he has faded to battle and relinquish his reign. The Holly King was responsible for the end of summer and for the demise of the Oak King and the sun. He had stripped the fields of its fruit and has taught the necessity of sacrifice. Now he holds the gift of the harvest and is ready to share in the spoils, knowing that his time is nearing its end. As you look into his face, you can sense that he is growing weary. The winter throne is cold and lonely, you sense, as he beckons you to draw near. He looks at you and says, "The winter is long and hard, and tests all in the battle for survival. You have overcome many challenges, but you are stronger than you know. Tell me, how have you prepared for the dark and cold nights?" And tell me also, what are you hopeful for in the days that lie ahead? What gifts do you seek? I have many boons I can give. Tell me your wish, and it may be granted, as long as you promise to do so in good cheer and to share your bounty with others, he says, sweeping a large, broad hand toward the table that is covered with food and other symbols of plenty. Take time to consider your response. What are your needs at this time? What is motivating your soul's yearning? Are you looking for your own gain? Who or what else do you serve? Consider the gift is given, the Holly King says, and laughs once more. And with this final laugh, you notice that he gives a sudden turn, and with a flap of his long fur robe, he is suddenly gone, having vanished. And with him, the light of the hearth behind him grows cold, save for a single ember. You notice a candle on the floor near the hearth and quickly grab it. You blow on the ember and it comes to life for just a moment, allowing you to transfer the flame to the candle's wick. It is just enough to allow it to glow and flicker, a small light to illuminate your way and return. You exit the hall and nod in gratitude as you begin to make your way back toward the cluster of holly trees, guided by the candle's flame. As you pass the hollies, you turn to thank them and to thank the Holly King, wherever he may be. As it is time for you to return, you begin to make your way back along the path that took you to the hall, trusting your feet to guide your way over the fresh fallen snow. And the mists begin to roll in once more from the outer edges of your awareness. They pile in around you, surrounding you, rising up from the earth, rising to cover your feet and your legs, and moving up your trunk. The mists rise to cover your trunk of your body up to your chest and shoulders, down your arms, and rising higher still until you are once more enveloped in the calm, flowing mist. Now, be aware once more of your place in your space, that connection to the earth below you, the sky above, a direction above, before you and behind you, to your left and to your right. Be aware that you are in your body and in your room, in this place and at this time. Wiggle your fingers and toes as needed, and when you are ready, open your eyes. Now, if you need additional help grounding, this might be a good time to take a drink of water, have a salty snack, hold on to the chair you're seated on if you're seated, or touch the ground. Whatever helps you feel fully embodied. Sometimes clapping can help as well. And if there's any notes that you'd like to take at this time, this is also a good time to jot that down while it's still fresh on your memory. So that is our guided journey for working with the Holly Tree Ally. I hope that you were able to make that connection with the Holly King. And if you would like to know more about more meditations like this, feel free to see more on my channel or click on the link below to go to our Meetup group to see how you can join our free monthly True Talks. This has been Rowan Ives, and I hope you all have a wonderful solstice and holiday season. Thank you. Bye.